Hi guys, Kane Harrison here. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Minute, proudly brought to you by the entrepreneurialmind.com. This is the show, of course, where you guys get to ask Dr. Jeff Cornwall a bunch of questions about entrepreneurship and small business. Today's question is, what legal aspects do I need to consider when starting my business?
So, assuming you're going into business with somebody else, which is
Happens a lot.
Yeah, it happens a lot. The single most important thing you've got to get figured out, even before you start operating, is your partnership agreement or your operating agreement. And it's easy to do it before you start because you're all still friendly and slapping each other in the back, and you still like to see each other every morning, and there's no money yet. You're not fighting over profits or capital calls or whatever like that. It's all, everybody's in good form. So figuring out the rules of engagement is so important then. And to do that effectively, you don't want to just sit down and say to a lawyer, draft one of these for me. You need to sit down with your partners, your investors, and talk about the key issues. What happens if somebody needs to leave? What happens if somebody doesn't perform? What happens if we decide to sell? What happens? All those kind of what ifs, and a lot of them are kind of ugly and bad and you don't think are going to happen, but you need to think about those things and talk about them in business terms, and then you go to your lawyer and say, here's how we want this business to work. Here's how we want this structured. Here's how we're going to make decisions. Here's what's going to happen in these situations. Here's how we value the business, all those things, and then they can write it into legal language. So that is absolutely by far the most important legal thing that you can do. And it's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you some legal time. But believe me, if you don't spend a few $1,000s on that now, you will spend tens of thousands of dollars trying to sort this out in the short run. Believe me, it's a whole lot better to spend a few $1,000s now than to spend tens of thousands of dollars later. And that's what's going to cost you. Because at that point, you're going to have money in the game, you're going to have people fighting over profits and things like that, and they get greedy, and it's just going to get ugly and complicated. So spend the time now, spend the money now, and get that right.
Great piece of advice from Dr. Jeff Cornwall. Of course, if you want more advice like this, jump over to the entrepreneurialmind.com. For a small subscription fee, you guys will be able to join in the conversation. So we'll see you next time on the Entrepreneurial Minute.